It's Thursday, August the 19th, and the time for your Barbados Today morning news update. A decision on COVID-19 vaccination and tackling the pandemic needs to be made quickly because the island's tourism-dependent economy is at stake. The warning from Senior Economic Advisor to the government, Dr. Kevin Greenwich, who told the final town hall meeting on COVID-19 vaccination and testing on Wednesday that Barbados stands to lose millions of dollars in revenue as the main money earner continues to struggle. He said while the country was able to manage the significant impact of the pandemic in 2020, it now cannot afford further fallout.
If we don't get our act in terms of getting another outbreak, we can't manage it. Another shutdown, we can't handle it. We don't have the financial resources. Prior to the COVID, because of the work being done, we were able to survive COVID in 2020. We were able to provide unemployment and support for the vulnerable and those among us who were affected. We were able to survive, but because of where we are now, we can't afford it again. If our economy was to tank again, all the ratios will go through the roof. The support we're getting from international donors will not have it. We all come now, whether you're vaccinated or unvaccinated, we all have to do what we have to do at the individual level to ensure that we protect ourselves and we protect those around us, so that we do not get another outbreak, so that we can get this country back on track. If you're unvaccinated, you wear your mask, you do your protocols, everybody got to do their part. That's my point. Because what we face is a bigger picture than just whether. The big picture is that we have a lot to lose if we don't get this up again.
Meantime, Acting Prime Minister Cynthia Bradshaw indicated that Prime Minister Mia Mottley would be back on the job today and intends to address the country.
She intends to speak to the country not just on the issue of the mandatory vaccines and all that has happened coming out of the consultation, but on a number of other issues as well.
The Fisa Vaccine will be introduced into the National Vaccination Programme for COVID-19 from today. Word of this from the island's Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Kenneth George. He told the final town hall meeting on COVID-19 vaccination and testing held at the Combermere School on Wednesday, the Pfizer rollout will take the form of a short trial run among select groups before it is made available to the general public, including children 12 years and older.
It's going to be a limited rollout. We are doing some individuals like recruits from the Barbados Defense Force and other small groups as a trial run. Then later next week, we will proceed to the general population with a view to shortly, once the Ministry of Education is happy and we go through a few steps, to invite younger individuals to have their vaccines that are approved in persons 12 years and older. So that is the rollout. We will continue to work with you with respect to this. You can register for vaccinations online, and there is a choice. So currently the choices are Sinopharm, Pfizer, and once we have AstraZeneca, that choice will be available to you. So we are offering Barbadians a choice. You can either say any, or you can choose your individual vaccine that you see fit.
Dr. George also disclosed that authorities in Barbados were open to the option of possibly obtaining COVID-19 vaccines from Cuba.
The answer to that question is yes. We have indicated that vaccines should be WHO approved and SAGE approved. SAGE is a group of specialists that come together and make determinations on vaccines. They examine the evidence and they put a position forward based on their scientific teams. And once the Cuban vaccine has gone through that rigorous process, Barbados will certainly be willing to look favorably at vaccines coming out of Cuba.
An opposition senator wants to know whether the Lynch secondary school building is now safe enough to be brought back into regular use. The query from Caswell Franklin comes as government prepares to sell the building located on White Park to Wibisco. The Ministry of Education closed down the school back in 2006 following years of complaints about environmental issues.
My concern, sir, is why sell this property to West India Biscuit Company? They have a large complex, and there's a playing field that they have out there that is not a community playing field. Nobody else can play on it. They can't even get in. And if we are going to have a centrally located place like this, I do not believe that you should take it away from the public. Mind you, that is still, if it's the place, is still environmentally sound, because I have my questions about that. I think that place needs to be cleaned up properly before you sell it, and I don't believe that it should be sold to the West India Biscuit Company. They have a large complex out there, and it is not really a button and a bounding on their property. So they're expanding their footprint. I still don't understand it, and I still don't understand why it has not been offered publicly. The government should put it up for sale.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
To news from the region, health facilities in at least 3 departments in Haiti are overwhelmed following Saturday's 7.2 magnitude earthquake that killed more than 2,000 people and left thousands more injured and missing. That disclosure from Director of the Pan American Health Organization, Dr. Carissa Etienne, during Wednesday's weekly press conference.
PAHO and the ministry have deployed 3 teams to the South Department, Sud Department, to conduct rapid assessments of health institutions, to guide the rapid response actions, and to set up information reporting systems. Our staff is being deployed to the Quan Ans and NIP departments to support re-establishing health services at departmental levels. So in total, 24 health facilities suffered damage, mainly first level of care. In Granans, 3 health facilities were destroyed and 2 were damaged. In NIP, we found that 1 health facility was destroyed and 4 damaged. And in Sud Department, 14 health facilities have been damaged. Of course, we also want to be able to track any waterborne diseases resulting from water and sewage pipes that were broken, as well as cases of COVID-19. So at this stage at PAHO, our priority is to support the operation of health services and to help save people's lives.
And finally, on the international front, the sex abuse trial against U.S. R&B star R. Kelly got underway on Wednesday, with the prosecutor describing the 54-year-old as a predator. More from Reuters TV.
R. Kelly's sex abuse trial began Wednesday with a federal prosecutor calling the R&B superstar a predator who demanded absolute loyalty from many women and underage girls he recruited for sex in a 2-decade racketeering scheme. Assistant U.S. Attorney Maria Melendez told a jury of 7 men and 5 women in a Brooklyn federal court that Kelly used, quote, lies, manipulation, threats, and physical abuse to dominate his victims and often filmed their sexual encounters. Melendez said Kelly would require his victims to get permission before doing virtually anything, including going to the bathroom, and blackmail them by threatening to release self-incriminating letters he forced them to write if they fled. Kelly, a 3-time Grammy winner whose songs include I Believe I Can Fly and Bump and Grind, has pleaded not guilty to a 9-count indictment that also includes accusations of bribery and extortion. He has strongly denied wrongdoing. Attorney Gloria Allred at the courthouse told reporters she represents 3 of the alleged victims.
All I can say is that I'm very confident that the court will afford a fair trial to Mr. Kelly and also to the persons who allegedly are victims.
Excited to have Mr. Kelly have his day in court.
Kelly's legal team has characterized the accusers as disgruntled groupies who had pined to be with him, only to change their stories later. The case is the culmination of years of suspicions and accusations against Kelly, many discussed in the 2019 Lifetime documentary Surviving R. Kelly. Kelly has been jailed for more than 2 years and could face decades in prison if convicted.
That's news. But for the very latest, visit us at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. And you can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM.